Hello, everyone. Welcome to GA's Tea Time. We discuss all things General Hospital. If you haven't already, please hit the bell notification. The like and subscribe really helps the channel. And I want to send a special thank you for everybody that has already subscribed. So, guys, let's get our teacups, let's get our snacks, and let's get ready to discuss our favorite characters. General Hospital Daily Recap, Friday, March 20th, 2026. We had a bunch of folks in this episode. We had some Cullum, some Britt, some Olivia, Michael, and a bunch more. So let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. Guys, I owe you a apology. I apologize because I did not pick up on that conversation between Britt and Josh when Britt said that Faison had 4 kids. We know Faison only has 3 kids. He has Britt, he has Peter, and he has Nathan. So who's the fourth child? Probably this guy, right? This guy that we think is not Nathan, right? So that would it would actually make up and let us realize why he's been acting a little strange. But anyway, and then also I was listening to I think Soap Dirt, and the lady did a whole thing about how Nathan didn't have a scar on his chest and stuff like that. And you know what? That's true because if you get shot, you should have some kind of scar or something that shows that you. But that might be a GH error because if you think about it, Michael was supposed to have got burnt up in that burn unit. He ain't got a scar on his body. So I'm like, not even a little scar. I understand he has some miracle treatment, but nothing at all. Okay, right. So that might be just a GH error, but we'll see. It would make sense if he was a twin, like because why not? And it would answer a lot of questions, like not going to see Maxie, why he's acting so funny and stuff like that. But anyway, Nathan went to go see Dante, and he was expressing how he's concerned that Cullum came to see Lulu. So in the between him telling this, he said, it was in the morning or something like that, and Dante realized that Nathan had spent the night. He looked like he almost got punched in the stomach when he realized what was going on. But Dante didn't seem too concerned. Even Nathan was like, okay, yeah, but this guy don't seem like he's a good person. Can you look into it? He didn't look like he was going to look into that. He was like, no, he's probably just doing his job. It's all, we'll see. But it's kind of real nonchalant on Dante. I don't know. I think he's more focused on that Nathan and Lulu spent the night together than realizing that this person is a bad person. But I think Nathan or whoever this person is knows that Colum is a bad person, and he's trying to tell Dante without telling him, I guess. So we'll see what happens with this. Jason was on the roof, trying to get that perfect shot at Cullum, and then Brennan is in the room with him. So every time it seems like he got the perfect shot. Brendan stands in front of him. So Jason's still there. He's still there. He's trying to do this thing, but it's not happening. In the conversation that Cullum and Brennan are having, it seemed like Cullum was trying to play the reverse card. He was like, "Oh, I know what's going on. You're really helping Jason Morgan. That's why none of these cases ever went through. It seems like, you're probably just putting it out there and helping him." And Brendan was like, "You know what? If you feel that way, go tell the higher ups and, put it out there with no evidence. You don't have no evidence that this is the case." He said, "Then they're going to start looking into all of this." So Brendan got real quiet real fast. And from there, Brennan left, but Jason also left because I think he was running late for Danny's game, so he didn't get the shot off. Rocco came over to see Britt, and he was asking to be part of the medical program. I guess they have some kind of student medical program or something like that. And he wanted her to be his sponsor or mentor or something like that. And Britt was like really happy because she was like, "Oh, this is, cool," obviously because she's in the medical field. But she knows she's not going to be around because she's packing up her stuff. So she kind of rushed Rocco out and was like, "You know what? I'm going to tell Lucas to be your mentor instead." And Rocco was kind of shocked by this, but he did leave. And then in the interim while they were talking before he left, um, she gets a text from Cullum telling, "Get yourself over to Windermere now." I'm like, "Oh my brother, this poor girl, she can't get away from these people." So then later on, Rocco was asking her if she was okay, and she was like, "No, no, no, I'm okay, but you need to leave." So he did leave. So then Lucas texted her and was like, "I have the medication. You need to get over here to get it." So she told Lucas to meet her at Pier 55. Here's 2 things that I think is silly about this. One, Britt's supposed to be on the run. Why you got suitcases? Why you have suitcases? The only thing that woman should have is her bag. A bag and a passport. I don't know why she's taking anything else. She had people probably watching her. It's just like, this doesn't make any sense to me. The second thing is, why y'all meeting at Pier anything? Isn't that what Sitwell and them be doing all their business? Anyway, I don't know. Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Well, Lucas and Marco was having a conversation because Marco finally got that medication over to Lucas. And Lucas is really scared because he's like, you sure you're going to be all right? Maybe we shouldn't go back to Windermere. I agree with Lucas. Stop going back there. But they didn't. Marco's like, no, it's going to be okay. Other people wanted to get it, like Britt and Jason. So maybe they'll just think it's one of them. Anyway, they just saw Lucas at this, I mean, that's Lucas, Marco at the safe, what, twice? Okay. So he's hopeful, wishful thinking there. But Lucas has the right to be concerned because this is not, I really think they should have went to hiding or got some kind of security or something. Um, but Marco just keeps reassuring him it's gonna be all right. He left and then he left. Before he left, Brad came and he wanted to talk to Lucas. So Lucas and Brad are talking, and Brad kind of told Lucas that he knows everything that's going on, that he knows about. Britt told him everything. So Lucas was kind of telling him, I didn't tell anybody because I don't want nobody to get hurt. And Brad is like, well, make sure you help my friend all the way through. He already helped her. He don't need you there telling him nothing. It's like, you know what? If anything happens to Margaret, I just don't want to see Brad and him back together. I feel like Lucas could do so much better. He could have did so much better than Marco. He could do so much better than Brad. Just wait and find somebody better than these two. So I hope that he can make some better decisions in the future. But that was it for their conversation. Alexis came in kind of upset, and Suzanne recognized it. She's like, "You okay?" And she was just telling her about the conversation that she had with Tracy and how she wanted Danny to come stay with her if anything happened to Jason. So you can see that Suzanne agreed. She knows the Quartermain's got a lot going on over there. So in the interim of that, she's just telling Susanna she's on her way to Danny's game. Does she know anything about basketball? Suzanne was trying to give her a little pointer, and then Suzanne realized she ain't catching it. So she was like, maybe you should just look up basketball for dummies, something like that. So, Suzanne left, and it's so funny because Alexa sat down on the computer and really did start looking up some basketball stuff. Before Alexis left, Marco was telling he gave Alexis some good advice. He just said, you know what, whoever has on the same uniform as Danny, just root for them. So that's good advice. After that, he was working on his own because nobody was at the office. Cullum comes in, and this is what I said. I said it and I said it again. These people kept on taking Cullum and Sidwell and all this stuff that's going on lightly. Cullum comes in with a pair of scissors behind his back. What you think he gonna do with those? I knew I said it. I don't know. I said Lucas and him, they keep on playing around. They ain't got no aware to them. They're not going back. They keep going back to that house, all this kind of stuff. I think this is the last time we're going to see Marco. Alexis and Jason got to Danny's game about the same time. And Alexis was asking Jason real quick before they went in, who would you leave Danny with? I hope it's me and stuff like that. Jason was getting ready to answer her, but then Dante comes up and he's like, you got to come with me right now. So Jason was like, no, I'm going to go and see my son's game and then I'll come with you. And Dante's like, no, 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 you got to come with me. I don't like this. They're gonna make Dante annoying, and I like Dante, but something about when they make people police commissioners, I don't know. Sometimes they become really annoying. So he was like, he got a warrant from the WSB. Now Dante, put on your thinking cap. Look at poor Anna out there all messed up, right? While all of a sudden they need Jason to come in like right now, right now. Yeah, it don't make sense. I don't like that Dante is just playing in with these people. I mean, everybody need to get some common sense about them and realize that something deeper is going on. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really mad that it looks like Jason ain't gonna see Danny's game. Jacinda was just catching Christina up on some stuff. I think she gave Christina a bracelet to go with her outfit for Charlie's. Um, then Jacinda was kind of telling her what happened at the gatehouse and how Olivia came in and stuff like that. But she said Olivia got a problem with her. And I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I said Olivia has a problem with her because she would come to the Metro Court, kind of interview potential clients, and Olivia would just make her leave, right? And she didn't like what kind of work she was in. So then she was like, then she got off that conversation and she was talking about Michael, and it just like she was asking Christina about some of her thing and kind of was like, are you in a relationship or, stuff like that. She's like, you got to give it a little bit. Christina said no, she used to be in a relationship, but she's not anymore. Side note, guys, I just don't want to see her Christina chasing down her brother's girlfriend. See, I don't want to see that because I'm finally starting to get used to Christina, and they're gonna put her back in an annoying storyline. Don't do that to her. Let's just let her get her own relationship and have her own stuff, and not be chasing down her brother's girlfriend. Michael came in later and gave Jacinda a big old kiss, so hopefully that'll keep Christina at bay. You don't want your brother's girlfriend. Stop that. But all right, we'll see what happens with this. So Olivia gets the family together for this emergency dumb meeting that she was insisting on texting Tracy about. So they get there. It's almost like an intervention. They talking to Michael, and they saying to Michael, well, Olivia's talking to Michael, and she's like, "Well, you can't. There's a lot of young kids walking around here. Valid point. Stuff like that. You can't just be doing stuff everywhere and things like that." Which makes perfect sense. Lock the door or go upstairs to your bedroom. Go do things like that. That's sound advice. It don't seem like they was getting that advice. Olivia was just like, you shouldn't bring that woman over here. Basically, she does not like Jacinda because I see now. I understand. I knew there was something when she said the other day, the way she was looking at Jacinda, she was just like, in the company that you keep or something like that. She thinks she looks down on Jacinda's past line of work. Okay, so Michael brought up a valid point. He was like, you know what? What about my grandmother? Right. His grandmother Bobby used to be a sex worker, and she got her life right, right? She went off and started doing good things. So you're going to just judge her about what she used to do in the past? So Olivia is a trip, but Michael kind of put them in their place, and then he left. But Tracy would say, she was Olivia over there laughing and stuff about everybody else's stuff, and then Tracy looked at her and she was like, "Yeah, but what about all the mobsters you dated? Hello, remember Johnny Sakara? Remember Sonny Corinthos?" So Olivia ain't got no place to be judging nobody. And that was it for that, guys. Tell me what your favorite part of this episode was, and what was your least favorite part. My least favorite part was Jason not being able to see his son's basketball game because of some stupidness with Cullum. And don't forget to hit that bell notification and a like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. And thank you guys again for joining us at GHT Time. Till next time, bye.